It's another prison bay, but it won't get that long.
Yeah, but this is ex-UFC fighter Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez.
You got that?
Cain Velasquez.
But yeah, Cain Velasquez, man. See, I think he got
5 years.
5 years, but I think he got like time served though. He got time served for attempting to well, he was shooting at somebody's car. The dude that he believed that might have been doing something with his nephew or niece or something like that. I do have a video. Want to watch the video?
Sure.
Let's play the video so y'all can hear what's going on.
Cain Velasquez was calm and didn't show much emotion as he was sentenced this afternoon. No cameras were allowed inside of the jam-packed courtroom full of supporters for both the UFC star and his victims. Those victims, along with Cain's wife and daughter, spoke before the judge handed down the sentence. 5 years. That's the sentence for former UFC champion Cain Velasquez after the fighter pleaded no contest to attempted murder and other charges. His lawyer asked the judge to release him on probation, but now expects Velasquez will ultimately serve 1 year in prison after getting credit for time served in jail and in home confinement.
I believe that in some ways justice was served today, despite feeling disappointed that he is back in custody.
In February 2022, Velasquez chased and shot at a vehicle carrying Harry Goulart along with Goulart's mother and stepfather. Velasquez believes Goulart molested one of the fighter's young family members. Ultimately, Goulart's stepfather was hit by the gunfire. Today, the three victims spoke before sentencing, describing the fear they felt during the 11-mile high-speed chase and shooting. The stepdad, who was hit twice, says he doesn't have full use of his right arm anymore. The Santa Clara County DA had recommended Velasquez be sentenced to 30 years to life, saying he tried to kill all three people in the other vehicle. They also argued that portraying Velasquez as some sort of vigilante hero is troubling and not accurate. Goulart's mother also spoke after the sentence.
The sentence is extremely disappointing. It's based on an alleged allegation that has no basis. It is unfounded. We are looking for the opportunity in Harry's case to prove that.
The defense said Velasquez admits what he did was wrong, but argued his family was destroyed by the alleged molester and has said he was concerned that man was going to return to the daycare in San Martin where Cain claims that sexual assault happened. Ultimately, the judge said this is a unique case and could not be heard in a vacuum, noting the circumstances around it had to be taken into account.
I do think that the court made a good decision today, one that takes into consideration all of the complexities of this case, the context about why this happened, and also takes into consideration who all of us know Mr. Velasquez to be, which is fundamentally a good man and a good father.
Them pedophiles. But yeah, they don't even say like who the kid, like how old the kid was, nothing like that.
Pretty much what I was about to read was everything that was said in there.
So they don't really say anything about the kid. But when it comes down to it, though, like, do you think he was in the wrong for that? I mean, well, go ahead.
I think where you lose him is that 11-mile drive, following behind them for 11 miles. That's a long time. And did you call the police and let them know anything that you were doing while said these 11 miles were being drove? So.
Yeah, you got a good case there. You got a good case, but I think in his defense, you know, I think what happened? That's Bruce
smelling butt. He done now.
But in his defense, they said like a vigilante.
Stop.
I got it right the one time. But anyway, I wouldn't say that he would be that. But at the same time, I don't know if this little one, I don't know how old the girl or boy is. I'm not really for sure. But once, you know what I'm saying, you find out that someone's being molested that's in your family, that said person is going to probably react in that same fashion that he reacted in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say, like, you know what I'm saying? He probably should have called the cop.
But he definitely should.
He should have did that. You know what I'm saying?
I see you follow them 1 mile, but the 10 miles, that's a bit excessive.
I mean,
because by 1 mile, you got license plate, you got the person name, you got the car. Like, let them do the investigation.
Let them do their job.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not in that situation and not knowing who, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's my daughter or my son, or if that's my niece or my nephew, and said other family member or whatever, whoever this other person is, molested them, I don't know how I would mentally react to that. I know my first thought, I'm about to. I mean, in the same sense, you kind of like, I'm about to get this motherfucker.
That is true.
I mean, that's not rational. Yes, I take that back. I think that is somewhat.
I'm a little torn, but go ahead.
I think that is the first thought that most people would think.
About to take you out for sure.
That would be the first thought, and then you would think like, all right, let me do this the proper way. But that's not the first thought. Is that revenge on that other said person, which is not what you should do. Mm-hmm. But in his case, it worked out for him because he only get one. He got.
Don't.
Go ahead.
Don't like. Don't. I get where you're going. Don't.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm torn because the 11 miles, and if you were chasing him, because,
now I understand the 11-mile thing too, though. Because it's like now you're in the hunt or what you in pursuit of.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 11 miles, and then you thought that he was leaving with somebody that he was potentially gonna molest. Why shoot in the car?
No. He thought that he was going to said place where child was to molest, right? Because I think the molester was in the car, the father, and then I think the son or something like that.
Right. How old is the son?
I don't know how old the son.
Because it say that
and the father got hit twice. He can't move it.
He said he tried to kill all 3 people in the other vehicle, and they also argued that portraying whatever his name is some type of vigilante. Like, what was the
Cain,
ages of the people that were in there? Were there 3 adults?
Yeah, there was adults.
But then that's still bad that you're shooting into the car. Like, you
forgot about that. Yeah.
You lost with the shooting. Now, if you'd just hunted them down and just
not shot inside the car.
Yeah. Like, or just shoot a tire out. Like, you shot.
This ain't a movie.
Right. Shoot a tire out. You tried to harm them. So you I get, the rage of you trying to protect somebody else's kid. But then again, I still don't, because you could have did it differently. Now, if it was your kid, oh yeah, I get it.
I'm going to jail for mine.
All day.
I'm going to jail for mine.
But if you're trying to prevent something from happening to somebody else's kid, I understand you trying to prevent it, but the whole shooting into the car. And this is all just off of allegations of him possibly doing it to another kid.
Mm-hmm. But he may know some shit that we didn't know, that it was confirmed that, you was doing
That's true.
this. You know what I'm saying?
But you still should have called the police at
and you would think,
1.
though, with...
And then they had the recordings of people recording the truck follow behind the car.
But you would think, though, with whoever was getting molested, that they would have said something.
No.
Now, since then, to be like, hey, he was doing blase, blase, blase. I don't know if that other dude has been arrested, not arrested. Like, because at this point, it was just an allegation. Like they were saying, we don't know if it's true or not. But if it was true, it should have been other steps that should have been taken to make sure he's not on the street, to prove what Cain Velasquez did.
Yeah.
To make sure, like, okay, well, I wasn't just doing this because, or I wasn't just doing this because I heard somebody say this or someone told me this. We know this for sure because we heard it from the horse's mouth, which is said kid said this happened. You know what I'm saying?
But that's normal, because most of the time when people are affected, the victim, they don't speak up.
That's who. Yeah.
Because it's like you're reliving it, and then things come out years later.
And then we don't know how old said kid is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't say if it was boy or girl.
Yeah, but yeah. Anywho, he sentenced to 5 years.
Only getting a year.
Time served and house arrest and all this stuff. He might only do 1 year.
That nigga chilling. He did most of that shit with time served and most of it at house arrest.
But this 1 year, he'll probably have to do in an actual prison. So you ain't gonna be chilling for that 1 year. You're gonna be in actual prison.
I don't know.
It's not 1 year of house arrest.
I think he's gonna be some house arrest.
I think he going to.
I don't think he's going to no prison.
I don't think so.
And if
to be continued.
And even if he did, ain't nobody fucking with that dude. I don't know. That nigga's a fighter.
Yeah, he is. He's
like he can beat niggas' ass.
But
I don't know. But
yeah, niggas got shanks in jail.
But yeah, man, I mean,
yeah.